Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would try something a little different and do a pen test in the Passion Planner. So the Passion Planner is known for their amazing paper, so we're going to put it to the test and we're going to try all the pens. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to a back page. Ooh, new planner spines. It's okay. It's okay. Work it out. There we go. I think I'm going to write on this half because it's a little more stable. It keeps wanting to flip up on me though, but I think the more that we write, the easier it'll lay down. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with my favorite pen. This is the Zebra Sakura Clip in the 0.3 size. It's a gel pen. It has a clicker. It also has this large spring clip that easily attaches to whatever you want. I always like to do something like this with it. Just like that, stays on, no problems. Another reason why I love this pen is how pigmented the ink is, and it's also water, fade, and feather resistant, so you can go ahead and highlight over it and it's not going to smear. So let's go ahead and test it out. Perfect, no smearing from this pen. It also comes in a bunch of fun colors and different tip sizes if you don't like the ultra thin type of gel pens. Most of these pens are going to be an ultra thin tip because that's what I prefer. Next up we have the Pilot Juice Gel Pen in the 0.38 millimeter size in black. Most of these pens are going to be in black, but it does come in a bunch of fun different colors. It's a pigment-based water resistant ink. It has the same clip and it also has a clip just like the Zebra pen that we saw before. And the other cute thing they recommend, it has this little hole in the top. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. That you can either like string a lanyard through or add little charms if you want to accessorize your pen. So let's go ahead and test it out. And again, no smudging. Next up we have the Pilot Hi-Tec-C gel pen in the 0.4 millimeter size. This pen has a needlepoint tip, which is specifically designed to provide minimal drag and effortless ink flow. Again, it's a gel pen, which has a special biopolymer resin, which helps prevent feathering and bleed through. It's also a water resistant ink, so you can highlight over it, or if you spill something in your planner, heaven forbid, the ink's not going to make a big ol' mess and smear everywhere. Next up we have a pen that's basically the same as the one before, but it comes in a bunch of fun different colors, and it also has a little gemmy gem on the cap. It's a needlepoint gel pen. It's the Pilot Hi-Tec-C Maica. So the reason why they call it Maica is because of the gem, and they want you to be able to pick your favorite color. So it comes in a rainbow of colors that you can choose from. Otherwise, it's the same as the previous one. Next up we have a planner favorite. This is the Papermate InkJoy gel pen in the 0.5 size. It has a smooth, vibrant ink. It features smear-free ink as well as a stylish rubberized grip. It's fast drying, smear-free, and it's great for lefties, supposedly. I'm not a lefty, so I don't know. And it also comes in a bunch of fun different colors and different point sizes. However, I do wish it came in a smaller point size. The smallest size you can get is the 0.5. Next up, another fan favorite. It's the Pilot G2 gel pen in the 0.38 millimeter size. The G2 is Pilot's #1 selling gel ink pen in America. It's a retractable pen, and it's filled with a dynamic gel ink formula that's water resistant, smear proof, acid free, and archival safe. It also has a nice little grippy on it. This is the 0.38 size, which doesn't have a lot of color options, but the larger point sizes do, if you're looking for a pen that has a bunch of color options. Next up is a new recent favorite in the planner community. This is the Muji Gel Ink Pen in the 0.3 millimeter size in the black ink. There's not a lot of info on the internet about the type of ink this pen has. It is super smooth and it's very pigmented. It says that it does have an aqueous pigment, which also reduces the ink bleed through the paper. It does come in a variety of colors, it comes in a variety of 12 different colors. And it has become a planner favorite. Next up, we have the Tool Retractable Gel Pen in the needlepoint 0.5 millimeter size, and of course, black. This is the classic pen that you can get from Office Depot or Office Max. Is actually their branded pen. It's another favorite in the planner community because it's a more affordable gel ink pen, but it still has this super smooth writing and you get the best bang for your buck. Just like with the InkJoy gel, I do wish that these came in a finer tip size. The smallest size you can get is the 0.5 millimeter. Next up, we have the Uni-ball Signo UM151 gel pen in the 0.38 millimeter size. This pen is known for its smooth writing, exceptional ink quality, and outstanding selection of colors and tip sizes. The whole Uni-ball Signo line is vast. There's so many different variations of this pen. I do suggest, if you're curious about it, go to jetpens.com. They have a whole article talking about just the Uni-ball Signo line. I love this pen. It has such smooth ink flow. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it comes in a bunch of different colors. Next up is another Uni-ball Signo. This is there's a hair stuck to it, is the Ultra Micro 207 line. It's retractable. It has the same amazing ink as the previous pen, and it is available in 8 different ink colors. Next up is a new favorite pen of mine, but it's very similar to my favorite pen already. This is the Zebra Sarasa Mark-On pen in the 0.4 size. What's nice about this pen is it's specially formulated for those that like to write and then highlight. It's not going to smudge at all, and I've tested it. It doesn't. So if you're someone that really enjoys highlighting, I highly recommend getting this pen. Next up, another planner favorite, because what happens to plans? They change. So this is the Pilot FriXion gel pen. I have it in the retractable option as well as just the one that's the pen and the cap. These are the pens that have the little erasers, so you can erase your work just in case your plans change. So let's go ahead and test them out. We'll test out the retractable one first. And then we will test out the one that's just the cap next. So this one is a needle tip pen in the 0.4 size. This one is a little bit thicker, probably 0.5 because it says 0.5 on the side of it. I do really like these pens, however, the ink in general isn't as dark as a regular gel pen, and I don't like that part. It's definitely more of a gray than an actual black, but if your plans change a lot and you need to erase a lot, these probably are the pens for you, and they do come in a bunch of fun different colors. Next up, we have a pen that has a bunch of different options in it. This is the Pilot Hi-Tec-C Coleto 4-color multi-pen body. So it has 4 different slots. They actually make them with like, I think up to like 6. And you can pick what inserts you want. So I have a black pen, a purple pen, a blue pen, as well as a mechanical pencil. And you can even pick the different pen tip sizes. So I went with the 03 size, which personally is a little too small for me. I would actually like a bigger tip. So this is actually the same type of pen ink as the Pilot Hi-Tec-C pen, but this is in a smaller tip size, and it's just a little scratchy for my personal preference. Next up, I thought it would be fun to add a classic gel pen. When you think of a gel pen, I'm sure this comes to mind. I remember using these in elementary school and feeling like the coolest kid on the block. So I thought, why not throw in a classic jelly roll pen? This is the Stardust line in the color Rose Star. I can tell you already that these pens are really juicy. They do take a couple minutes to dry. However, the Passion Planner does have more of a porous paper than some other planner companies out there. You can definitely feel that it has a little bit more of a tooth to it than some of the ultra smooth papers of other planners. So I know that this is actually going to dry really quickly on this paper. Next up, we have the Pentel EnerGel. This is the RTX gel pen with the needle point in the 0.3 millimeter size. This features a blend of Rollerball and gel inks. So the ink in the EnerGel is a very fast drying ink, which makes it great for lefties. So if you're a lefty and you're looking for a good pen, this pen might be the pen for you. Next up, I thought it would be fun to change our inks. So far we've been testing out all of the gel pen options out there, at least the gel pens that I have, and I think it'd be nice to mix it up to different types of pen inks. So our next pen is the Zebra Surari Emulsion Ink Pen. This is in the 0.5 millimeter size with black ink. It combines the best quality of a ballpoint and gel ink pen, so it has the smoothness like a ballpoint pen, but features the vibrant colors of a gel ink pen. Next up, we have the Uni Jetstream Standard Ballpoint Pen in the 0.38 millimeter size. This is a waterproof pen, so of course it's going to be okay if you highlight over it, and it also has a very smooth ballpoint ink that almost acts like a gel ink pen. Next up is a fun pen that I found on Amazon. This is, there we go, the Monpeluche Ballpoint Pen in the 0.38 millimeter size. I found it very difficult to find ultra-fine tip ballpoint pens, but I stumbled across this pen on Amazon and it had good reviews. However, there isn't a lot of information on it except for that it has a 0.38 tip size, but it also does come in other color options if you're looking for a color fine tip ballpoint pen. Next up, we have a Rollerball pen. This is the Pilot Precise V5 retractable rollerball pen in the extra fine tip size in black. Next up, I thought we should test out a plethora of felt tip pens. Felt tips are definitely a favorite in the planner community, and so I thought I would share my collection with you. The first pen we have is a classic. It's the Staedtler Triplus Fineliner pen. This is, of course, in black. This is a fade-resistant, acid-free with a long metal tip, ideal to use with rulers and templates. So if you like stencils, this is probably the pen for you. And it's also available in a ton of different colors. I love these for my adult coloring books. Next up is probably my second favorite pen out there. It's the Sakura Pigment Micron pen. This is in the 01 size, which has a 0.25 millimeter tip. So it's a tiny, oop, throwing the cap. So it has a tiny little tip. Look how tiny that is. And I love a tiny tip. Huh. Next up is a pen that I just started using that I really enjoy that I don't think is as popular as it should be. It's the Staedtler Pigment Liner in the 0.3 size. Now this is a permanent black ink marker, so it may bleed through your pages, but in the last planner I tested it out in, it didn't. It has the same metal barrel tip like the other pens we've tested, but it just has a nice smooth writing experience. And I really have been enjoying writing with it. Next up is another underrated felt tip pen. This is the Uni Pin Pen in the 0.38 millimeters. I love that it has a little window. Do you see that? The little window where you can see the tip of the pen. I don't know why, but I really enjoy that part. Next up is another planner favorite. It is the Papermate Flair. This is the UltraFine tipped pen option because I like fine tipped pens, but they do come in other tip sizes as well as other color options. These are just a classic in the planner community. Next, we have another classic, the Sharpie Standard Marker Pen. Of course, in black. It's the same type of pen that you would expect from Sharpie, but it doesn't bleed through your planner pages. Make sure you get the pen. If you get this guy, it's going to bleed through your planner pages. If you get this guy, it's not going to, so make sure you get the pen. Next up is a new favorite of mine. It's dubbed America's first marker pen. It's the Pilot Razor Point Marker in the 0.3 size. It also has a quick drying ink, and you can highlight over it without it smearing. Okay, now that all of those are done, I thought we would test out some more fun type of pens. So first up is a brush pen. This is the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. This is the hard-tipped one. So the only complaint I have about the Passion Planner paper is that it is more toothy. So for things like brush tip pens, you can definitely see it feather more on the paper. And, you know, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's not as smooth as some of the other planner papers out there, so you can tend to see a little bit more feathering in brush pens and in some felt tip pens. Just because it's a marker, the ink's just gonna feather a little bit more once it hits the paper. Next, I thought we would try the Tombow TwinTone markers. It has the thicker tip marker on one end, followed by a felt tip pen type marker on the other. Next is one of my favorites to use in planners. It's the Crayola Super Tips. Classic Crayola marker, nothing snazzy, but they're super affordable and they come in a bunch of different colors. You can get a 100 pack on Amazon for around $15. Next is a planner classic, the Zebra Mild Liners double-ended highlighters. Oh, if you don't own these, you need to. They are more of a pastel style highlighter. They have a double end, and they're just amazing. Next, we have another brush pen, the classic Tombows, where it has the big brush pen on the other, followed by a smaller felt tip marker on the other end. And I'm gonna do a black swatch as well, just in case it does bleed through. And last but not least, I figured if you're gonna do a pen test, you might as well go big and get the Sharpie permanent markers out, because no planner can withstand the Sharpie. Okay, all said and done. All the pens held up really well. There wasn't any smearing or smudging, and the only bleed through we have is from the Sharpie marker. Of course, there is a slight shadow from the black Tombow, but it's barely noticeable at all. So either way, the Passion Planner holds up super well to any pen you throw at it. I want to know, what's your favorite pen and what pen do you use in your planner? As always, if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!